Hi guys, I hope you are doing great today. So today we're gonna go over the Fujinon 56 1.2 and I'm gonna share with you what I said on my previous video about it. Well, the lens, it's of really good quality. The build quality is excellent. The only thing I really don't like that much is the build quality of this. I mean, it works, it's fine, but you gotta be extremely careful when you attach it and detach it because it might, it's plastic and I think it might break. I don't know. But as for other than that, the rest is really of good quality. Okay, so the optics, I got a filter to protect it all the time. I always like to protect my lenses, my elements with a filter because, it's easier to clean. If by any means or any accident I get to hit it, I'd rather breaking the filter, which can be easily replaced, than replacing the element, which I think it's gonna be, I don't even know if it's possible, but if it is, I'm sure it's gonna be expensive. So this lens build quality is amazing. As I said, it's metal. It's not weather sealed. It's the first version, and I love it. I love it because it's very sharp all the way from 1.2 till, let's say, 11. When you go up to 16, it gets a little bit of vignetting. I don't care about it, but neither if it had it like right from 1.2, because mostly I use this lens, as I told you before, for portraiture. Usually medium shots to close-ups. Sometimes full body, but basically for medium shots to close-ups. The ring, the aperture ring, it has this little click. I don't know if you can hear it whenever you're moving. Okay. Now we have this focus ring right here. And I must say that it's soft, it's okay. The only thing I don't really enjoy of having that is it is too, I think it's too large for my point of view. And if you don't have the hood on, it gets kind of weird, when you want to hold it, because you may move your focus point, especially if you're working with sun focusing. So what you need to do is hold it like so from the hood. This way you won't move the ring, because if you hold it like this, you may move. And then other option would be like holding like that. So what I do is I usually use it like this, hold it here, and it's okay. But I think the ring could be like preferably on the front, and then I could, you could just hold the lens like that as any other lens. But other than that, the results I get with this is they're amazing. I don't know if it's still being the best portrait lens. In its newer version, perhaps. I don't know. I haven't seen any reasons to replace it for the newer version. Even though the newer version is weather sealed, I don't shoot under the rain or, so I don't mind about that. It does make a little bit of noise when you're focusing in autofocus, but I don't mind. It's not that bad. And it could be for if you're shooting video, but again, if you're using it manual, it's great. It's very, very sharp. It's a fast lens. and it works great with the autofocus, or if you get in your system, if you use iFocus or something like that, or areas, or whatever way you use to focus your images, it works perfectly fine. Most of the time I use center area, just one single area, and I'm used to reframes, so I don't mind. Now, as I said, it's very sharp, although, of course, if you're shooting at 1.2, 1.4, you got to be careful, because the bokeh is beautiful, but if you're shooting a close-up at 1.2, you got to make sure that both eyes are sharp and in focus, because otherwise you'll get only one in focus and it looks kind of strange. I'm going to show you some samples of it. But again, I mean, if you want to get that, that's all right. So again, as for bokeh, it's insane. It's great for low light situations, and yeah, it's a really good lens, and it's not. It wasn't cheap by any means. I think it was about $1,000 when I bought it a few years ago, and I haven't seen any reasons to replace it. It's not that heavy as my Konica 80, well, not 80, its equivalent is 85, but my Konica 57 that I shared with you in a couple of videos ago, it's way heavier than this. It's different, as I said before. But this is great when I don't have time to be using manual focus, or when I need to use autofocus. This is my best bet for portraits and fashion shootings. And I mean, sometimes I have to shoot 100 outfits with 3-4 models, and it's not that easy to shoot at 1.2, 1.4 all the time, or even 2 with a manual lens all the time. It gets odd. So this is my best option for that matter, and it really renders great quality, as you're gonna see in images I'm sharing with you. So it is highly recommended if you're a Fujifilm shooter. It's a beautiful lens, and it really renders great quality. I've used it in some indoor situations, and it's really nice to have that 1.2, 1.4 apertures, because when you're doing that, sometimes I found myself, as I'm going to show you in these samples, not even needing any field light or flashlight or anything. So you're going to see it. Now the cap, it's kind of strange. It goes like that. So you got to push it like so. Put it in, and then you make sure it's on, because you may lose it. No? I always make sure of that. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for today. So I hope you find this information useful, and surely it is an excellent lens. The optics are remarkable. Color rendering is really good. Skin, it's the skin rendering, the tonality and all that. It's really nice, and that's what I use it for. So, I mean, I've shot some other stuff with it, but mainly that's what I use it for. So if you're looking for something similar, I do highly recommend it, because it is a very nice lens. And about that little noise, I think it's just because it's a drive-by wire, but I mean, it's been with me for 8 years, 7 years or so, and I haven't got any issues with it. Again, the build quality is amazing. That's a lot of glass, and it looks beautiful in any camera. So let's see. This is what I told you about. As for the sharpness of the lens, which is very sharp, but at the same time, I mentioned something about being careful with the eyes. This eye is blurred, this one sharp. Okay, so the 1.2 f number is so shallow that you risk this. So you gotta be aware of this. I created this for you so you could check that. There's some sharp areas right here, right in this area, but the rest is totally blurred. So you gotta be aware of that. Okay. Same. Let's see here. In this case, both eyes are at the same focal plane. So let's say at the same angle. So you can see all of this is sharp, okay, but the rest is totally blurred. I'm too close to him. It is sharp, but the rest is totally blurred. So you gotta, you gotta know what you're looking for when using these apertures, because otherwise you're gonna get in trouble. As easy as that. Let's say now this one is f2. You still have beautiful bokeh, everything sharp. You can see everything sharp. It's a very, very sharp lens. You can see everything, right? And just beware of that. Remember, when you're shooting at 1.2, 1.4, be careful. I mean, I think this is enough bokeh, enough blurred background to risk it more in case you're shooting for an assignment or a client or something. You gotta take care of that. You gotta, you gotta be aware of that. You gotta be careful. Let's say right here, there's another very, very good example right here. In this case, I aim at the eye. The background is absolutely blurred. It's a soft bokeh, soft blurred. Yeah, but look at this. So you gotta be aware of that, okay? Check that. When you're shooting in an angle, you need to either step up to 2.8 or so you can get both eyes sharp, or mark here a distance a little bit away from the subject, not too close, because if you're too close to the subject, that's what you're gonna get, and you can't fix this. So be aware of that. I mean, it's great to work with 1.2, 1.4, but basically the focus has to be in the same plane. You can't combine that because it's not going to work at all. It's not going to work at all. In this case, that's what I did. I stepped up to 2, and you still see everything sharp here, but still, I mean, it's better than the last one, the previous one, but it still is not sharp. So check when you're working with very wide apertures. Now, as for this is f11, but the area is right here. So since you're working with a telephoto, because that's what it is, 56 is equivalent to 85 in full frame, and you don't get a lot of field to work with. So it's very sharp. I love the color rendering. Everything's fine as long as this is what you're looking for. But the rest is gonna be just absolutely blurred because I'm too close to this plant, even though it's f11. And if I want to get everything in focus, I just need to use another lens, or just go away from the plants and try to make it work some other how, but not like so. Now, in this case with the little bird, let's just take a look at this right here. Okay, you can see everything's very sharp right here, and that's getting soft, right? So again, it's 1.2 right there. Now in this case, what I did is just step back a little bit away from the bird, and it still gets soft, and it's too shallow. That's where the focus area is, and the rest is just too shallow. I mean, it gets blurred, and that's not gonna work for you. In this case, that's the same, but in this case, the bird looks sharp, and I adjusted the distance, and you can see this is blurred, and sharpness starts right here and goes all the way here. But that's as shallow as it gets. I mean, it's not easy to work with it. You have to get used to it. Again, in this example right here, let's say you're taking a product shot of this. Well, it's not going to work because all you get sharp, it's right, you know, all of this. All these areas sharp, that's the focal area, and the rest is just completely blurred. Okay. In this scenario, it was dark. I mean, pitch black, but yeah, working at ISO 800 f1.2. Yeah, you get this little plants with the light right there. They're sharp, and the rest is just completely out of focus. All right. So that's how it looks at shooting at 1.2. Now I'm going to show you some other samples. Just hang on a bit. Get these images. Let's see. Get info. So that's, yeah, 1.4 right here. You see F number 1.4, 1000. I was using ISO 1600, and that's JPEG as well. This case, as I mentioned previously, in this case it's, you know, it's different. Everything looks sharp, soft, how I like it, but I'm away. Let's say about 3 meters, 4 meters away from her. So that's different. That's totally different. And you can see, you know, there's sharpness here, everything's soft here, and that's the way I like it, because I don't want to see every little freckle and detail on the skin, but it looks sharp. Her face is sharp, and that's how I managed to save hours and hours of I haven't done anything to this photo, but as for detailing the skin, it saves me a ton of time. So now let's see this one right here. That's what, 2.8, 2000, 1600 ISO. Let's see. Okay. See, what I did here, it's a JPEG as well, untouched. I haven't done anything to it. And let's see. Right here, I have to detail all of this. Now, I was using just window light, and I set my white balance to shade. That's why it looks yellowish, warm. And I'm using the window right in front of her, or right next to her, and you can see the reflection here. So that's how I wanted to do it. And you know that eye is in the shade, but this one's on the light and sharp. You know, it's soft. It looks neat. See? I don't need any more details on her skin because she's got tons of freckles. So this will give me a base to start with. Then let's see this one right here. It's a yeah, the same 2.8. Let's check this one right here. Okay. So I gotta fix this in Photoshop. This right here. But that's what we were looking for. Again, I was using a window light with the white balance in shade. That's why I get this warm tones. It's a JPEG, and the base simulation mode was a standard, which is equivalent to Provia. Now let's see, which one is it? Let's check this one right here. Let's check this. It's the same now. We turn on the light so we could get this warm light on the background to get some separation. And let's check her face. See, eyes are sharp. This is nice. This is soft. And that's how I like to use this lens. This is sharp. This is not, but I don't care because, I mean, I don't need to see all the pores on her skin, and that's how I like to use this lens. Okay, and this is 2.8. It's not even 1.2 or 1.4. Now let's see here. Sorry. Again, it looks like so because of the this one's too soft, doesn't really work. Okay, so that's why I wanted to share this with you. This is more into the general image composition. It's soft, it's not focus or sharp, pin sharp by any means. And that was done at 1.4 right here. 1/500 of a second, 1600 ISO. So yeah, guys, just remember that, okay? Remember that because I get in trouble. I did this session just so you know, just for the video, so you can check on the quality of the lens, but mainly that thing about the extra shallow depth of field that we get with this 56. So in case you are wondering about how is it shooting at 1.2, 1.4 prime lenses, well, you know, you gotta practice, otherwise you're gonna get a ton of images out of focus. Okay, see, this is soft. This one works. Everything's soft. I can fix it. I'm gonna fix it and show it to you. Work on it in Photoshop, but again, the bird's not sharp, so it's not really that easy to work with these apertures. 1.2, 1.4. It's not because of that you're gonna get everything sharp, and you can use it in any shooting situation, because you can't. I mean, if I'm shooting at, let's say, 1600 with a 5.6, then it'll be a different story. Or just being away from the person, from the subject, will get you better results. But again, if you're working with that, you gotta be aware of it. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, just post them down there in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer. Okay? See you in the next one. Late.